One of the things that helps every country in the world that is practicing democracy to continue to grow and measure their level of development year in, year out, had to be the process at which they elect their leaders. And the process involves the entire process, beginning from the intentions, the nominations, the primaries, the election itself, during the election, post election as well. What happens thereafter? How were the issues that came up as a result of the elections? How were they managed? Or it's just a case of you lost an election, go to court. These are the issues that helps countries in the world, countries that have decided to, make their people their priority. Those are the issues that have helped those countries to grow. And so it means that for us to make any reasonable and logical progress in this country as a nation, we must pay keen attention. We must be very intentional about fixing our democratic process, and mainly in that space had to be the election. How do we elect our leaders? How do we go around with the process at which we bring these people forward? It is one thing for them to indicate interest. It is another thing for us to trust them enough to give them that support. Who makes these decisions for us beyond what we go to do on Saturdays when we go exercise our franchise? How did they emerge? The entire campaign processes, how many of the agendas were they able to sell to us? These are the issues that would always form the core of every conversation when it comes to election. And as I always tell people, election goes beyond what happens on that single Saturday. It's a complete process from the period where the candidate or the aspirant begin to come out to make consultations, begin to talk to the people. How do you interpret their body languages? How do you understand what they are coming to talk to you about? Is it just propaganda, or you're also picking those messages? And from your own side, how do you also form your electoral decisions? Is it based on those archaic and primordial decisions? Oh, it is because it's from my tribe, or it is because it's from my religious affiliation. I'm going to support him. You're live on Milan 98.3 FM, and I want to specially welcome you to the last edition of the show for the week. It is called the Situation Room. I will get to do this every Mondays to Fridays from 4 to 5:30 p.m. 90 straight minutes of conversation around leadership, politics, governance, economy. It is called the Situation Room for that reason. Any situation whatsoever that catches our attention, we bring in seasoned analysts, guests, image makers, opinion leaders to come talk about them. So it is always my pleasure to have you join us every single day of the week from Mondays to Fridays to have these conversations. My name is Oᴏᴜ Akina. Today is Friday. I'm sure a lot of you will be surprised. Oh, what is Oᴏᴜ still doing in Lagos? Oᴏᴜ is supposed to be in Benin City right now, preparing to cover the November 21st, 2024 gubernatorial election in Edo State. But unfortunately, due to some late logistic change, it's not going to be possible. But of course, trust us on Milan FM. We have everything covered, just like we covered the Imo, Kogi, and Bayelsa election. Right from this studio, we gave you everything you need to know about those elections, just the way we covered the general election, where we gave you details and reports across all of the 26 states that had governorship election. We're going to do the same tomorrow. But trust us, Ondo 2024 is under lock and key already. Once again, apologies that I won't be able to do this extensive coverage as we've promised. So, but of course, we have all of those covered, like I said. You're not going to miss any single thing at all from the entire process from tomorrow morning. You stick with us here on all our social media platforms, beginning from Facebook, X. For my show today, it's Friday, and it's always my favorite part of the week. Well, maybe Thursday sometimes, because I'm always having the compliment of Mr. Miwa in the studio. Yesterday was something different. So Mr. Miwa made a statement on the show yesterday, and then the statement, it just went viral, kind of. I started getting messages after the show, And I was wondering, so Mr. Miwa said something. He was responding to the soundbite. Maybe I should play you the soundbite first. Then one would come back. You understand why he made that statement, and so that we can clear, the air on some, misunderstanding that have been coming up since yesterday. I'm going to play a soundbite, and you hear the voice of His Excellency Governor Dauda Lawal of Zamfara State, where he was making reference to his predecessor, the current Minister of State for Defense, Bello Matawalle. I'll play you that soundbite. When I come back, I will also tell you what Mr. Miwa said, and I will get into the conversation. Once again, it's a Friday edition, and I invite you to join the conversation.
If I were him, I would resign and face all the allegations against me. And that would have been more honorable, because from all the fact that there was a permanent secretary when his children were abducted. And it was unfortunate that he had to pay ransom through the government house. And it was also very clear, based on all the allegations, that bandits were being kept at government house. There are so many issues. So for me, honestly, if I were him, I'll step aside and face this allegation until I clear my name before I come back and continue my job. That should have been more honorable. And how can you imagine with all these allegations against him and stay aside, face all these allegations, clear his name, and then come back and continue to do whatever he wants to do, whether he wants to remain as minister or he wants to do something else? That would have been more honorable as far as I'm concerned. If I'm in that position, believe me, I'll put in my resignation letter.
Things seems anxious and uncertain now. If there were,
in our quest to bring to the table issue-based conversation around nationhood and development, we have made 4 to 5:30 p.m. Monday to Friday the perfect time to welcome you into the Situation Room as we continue to build the narrative about public service and accountability.
Mr. President, this Senate needs to know. Mr. President, this Senate needs to lend its voice to the plight of these people. Mr. President, there is nowhere I can say it except here. This is why I'm elected. If I cannot say these things on this floor, sir, I better resign and leave.
As elections give the citizens the chance to make their political decisions, constant demand for quality leadership from those they voted in Oᴘᴇyēmí Akínyòdé as it takes to task seasoned analysts, opinion makers, business professionals, and politicians on issues around politics, policies, governance, and leadership. Every Monday to Friday from 4 to 5:30 p.m. on your super dial, Mainland 98.3 FM will welcome you in the mix as we discuss the situations.
Okay. That was the voice of the governor of Zamfara State, His Excellency Governor Dauda Lawal. He was addressing, or he was responding to a question that was asked, I think, during the week on national TV, and that was the response he gave. He said that his predecessor, the current Minister of State for Defense, was involved in, all of these issues. He made reference to the fact that the permanent secretary's kids were kidnapped, and then they found out that the ransom was paid directly from the government house. And Mr. Miwa made a statement yesterday that there is no northern Nigerian governor that have not directly or by proxy paid ransom. And that was what he said yesterday. And then after the show started getting a lot of calls, a couple of messages, and I said, first off, that's his opinion. And secondly, if he was going to come say that, then you should have fact to come counter it. But that's just on the side, by the way. Sometimes, you look at some of these challenges and then you think, if we are very meticulous about it and very intentional about solving some of these problems, how long have we been dealing with insurgency in this country now? Over 10 years. It looks like the more we win the battle over insurgents, the more banditry begins to also thrive. So you ask yourself, how many businesses can you do in this country today today that you can boldly say I'm making a profit of 10 million or 15 million or 20 million that people are paying to rescue their kidnapped loved ones? I mean, that's the question. So if you as a governor and you cannot protect the people in your state, if you as a president you cannot guarantee the security of lives and properties of the people that you swore to protect on the day you were being sworn in, I mean, even the constitution is very clear. The Nigerian 99 constitution as amended was very clear. The principal responsibility of every government at every level is the protection of lives and properties of the people. So the moment you fail in doing that, what do you build hospitals for when the people don't feel safe? What do you build infrastructures, public infrastructures for when the people don't feel safe? It is the people that are safe. It is when the environment is safe and conducive for business. And that's when you can even go out and market your country and bring in investors. What logical investor will come into a country where his investment cannot he can't guarantee the safety of his investment? He cannot even guarantee the safety of his workers. So it is really important at this point that we tell ourselves the truth. Whether you look at the statement of Governor Dauda as mere propaganda or as a political back and forth, it is really important at this point that we must intentionally fix the issue of insecurity in this country, because there's no progress that can happen in an atmosphere of hostility. For any country to thrive, there must be security of lives and properties, because that is the bedrock of whatever development whatsoever. Businesses will thrive when the people are safe. There can't be interstate movement when the roads are safe. Whether you travel in the morning, whether you travel in the road, was a major issue, because you ask yourself, I mean, if it comes to the point where, unfortunately it happens, what would the response be like? It's a whole lot of problem. There used to be a time in this country where traveling by road was a big deal. Like, you enjoy the luxury of the road. I remember when I first went to Plateau State for my NYC in 2014 or thereabout. It was a road trip. That was the longest road trip I've had in my entire life, and I barely slept, despite the fact that it was in the night. I barely slept, and I got really inquisitive that what must I have missed between leaving Lagos around 4 p.m. and getting to Jos at 11 a.m. What happened in between those times? So I decided to now do day journeys, and it gave me the luxury of stopping over at all of the states on that axis, from Kaduna into Abuja, into Kogi, into Ondo. It was always a pleasure for me to do that. But how many people can conveniently get up on the road and say, I'm going to Kaduna by road in this country, I'm traveling to Benue by road in this country, I'm traveling to Kogi by road in this country? And it is because the people don't feel safe. So whatever it is, whatever interpretation that came with the statement of Governor Dauda Lawal, whether it is because of the PDP or the APC conversation, or it is probably because, my predecessor, I'm going to make sure you don't do this, or according to what Mr. Miwa also said yesterday, the election, by the time we're done with 2024, and lost the election. So you cannot rule out the possibility of you could still want to be on the ballot again in the next election. Now he's the Minister of State for Defense. So, does he have an advantage? Does he feel like he needs to win the battle against the bandits? His predecessor, Bello Matawalle, would continue to gain the favor of the people? These are just speculations, and these were the position of my guest yesterday. I literally just changed the whole thing and all of that, but don't worry, we're not going to focus so much on that. But trust us here, as things are unfolding, we'll continue to bring it to your notice as well. Tomorrow is Edo State governorship election, and then it's a reality that we may want to shy away from, but it is very much upon us here. I followed the whole build up to the election. Last week Monday, there was the Edo Peace Summit, where everyone that mattered in Edo political and economic signed, but the PDP did not sign. And the reason was very clear. The chairman of the party in the state and the governorship candidate of the party were also present at the venue of the peace accord, but they refused to sign. And they said, hey, we're not here to sign the peace accord. We're here today to protest the continuous detention of about 11 of our members in Abuja. And the outgoing governor of the state, the PDP, exactly trust the security agencies to be unbiased tomorrow for them to give evidence. The Inspector General of Police had spoken about assuring the people of Edo State of the assurances of the Inspector General of Police. Then the executive governor of the state, Godwin Obaseki, also came out to grant a press conference on Tuesday saying that, you know what, we've met with all of it. Remember, in the scheme of election in this country, whether by law or by act, the vigilantes are not allowed to be part of the election. They're not recognized in the constitution of this country. So the legality of them being part of the election was laid to rest when the Inspector General of Police instructed the dissolution of the vigilante. Things would be properly fixed, and then we would have a peaceful election. But I've looked at the whole conversation. I followed the campaign of the Labour Party candidate Olumide Akpata. I've also followed the campaign of the APC candidate Senator Monday Okpebolo. I've also followed the PDP candidates, yes, Mr. Ansua Ighodalo. I've listened to all of them over and over again, multiple times. One thing is sure, that every of those candidates recognizes the fact that Edo State needs instant change. So if the outgoing governor said no administration in the state had conducted or had constructed more roads, that he's done over 1,200 kilometers of road in his 7 years as governor, so why do we still keep seeing dilapidated buildings as schools being used to campaign by the opposition party? Why do we see the market women coming out to say that, oh, they want the incoming governor to do this and do that? The outgoing governor said he had fixed Edo State and is leaving it better than 5 days to galvanize support for the Labour Party candidate. Were in Edo State to support the candidate of the Labour Party, Olumide Akpata. The entire APC structure was also in Edo State. The intricacies of that election is absolutely unique. Represented by the former governor of the state and the former national chairman of the APC, senator of the APC representing Edo Central. The running mates, I'm going to link up with my country. Ready? Have they really been addressed enough to know that whatever police, for the sake of their own security and their lives, for the sake of their own progress, whatever choice they make tomorrow, and to come from the point yes until maybe the court says otherwise to whatever candidate. So you have to deal with the consequences of that election. What situation? We take a quick break. We'll be right back. We'll link up with our guest. He needs to give us updates on how things are going at the moment. You get all of that when we're back from this break. Stick with us.
Things seems anxious and uncertain. I understand the hardship you face. I wish there were other ways, but there's not. If there were,
in our quest to bring to the table issue-based conversation around nationhood and development, we have made 4 to 5:30 p.m. Monday to Friday the perfect time to welcome you into the Situation Room as we continue to build the narrative about public service and accountability.
Mr. President, this Senate needs to know. Mr. President, this Senate needs to lend its voice to the plight of these people. Mr. President, there is nowhere I can say it except here. This is why I'm elected. If I cannot say these things on this floor, sir, I better resign and leave.
As elections give the citizens the chance, it's also important to having a Nigeria of everyone's dream. Join Oᴏᴜt괜બ્ᴇ as it takes to task seasoned analysts, opinion makers, business professionals, and politicians on issues around politics, policies, governance, and leadership every Monday to Friday from 4 to 5:30 p.m. on your super dial. Mainland 98.3 FM will welcome you next as we discuss the situations.
Oga Police, no worry, I see you. You know you can do the right thing, right? You know you can do without that bribe. You know you don't even have to harass that young man because he is properly dressed. And you think he's a Yahoo boy? You don't even have to assault that citizen whom you have sworn an oath to protect. Yes, we understand that the pay is not good enough to take you home, that you are still wearing a uniform that you bought with your own money 5 years ago. It's no news that the government has not done enough by you. We We feel your pain and we wish things could be different as we continue to call on government to wake up to their responsibilities. We want the police to be our friends, just as it is boldly stated across the various police stations nationwide. And from mainland 98.3 FM, we implore you to do better. We love you and we support you always.
I was just told that all hands are on deck ahead of the election tomorrow. I don't know which of the deck we're talking about. I don't know, but it promises to be a time, an opportunity for the people of Edo State to decide who governs them for the next 4 years. Joseph joins me on the show today. He's from Edo State. He's also going to help us unravel some of these things. Also going to be a part of the discussion tomorrow as we take feedbacks from all of the local governments in the state tomorrow. I'm really interested in how all of those things would unfold, because like I said, it's a state that has a lot of peculiarity and uniqueness around this in terms of the history of the state, rather, in terms of the major political parties choosing to hand over their tickets or allowing, maybe not like a gentleman agreement, kind of allowing the ticket to stick with Edo Central. I remember there was a time we had the vice chairman of PDP in Edo State and the chairman of PDP in Edo Central joined us on the show, and then was talking about the fact that Edo North has done his own. Everyone seems to be, it is the turn of Edo Central. And then when we saw the election, the primaries of the APC and the PDP are moving towards that direction, a lot of people felt like, you know what, even the other political parties, about 9 of the 18 candidates actually from Edo North. 9, I think about 11. I'll confirm the list right now. I think about 11 of them. So I think it's more like a gentleman agreement that, you know what, let these people also have a shot at leadership in the spirit of fairness and equity and balance. So then that's when the conversation of Olumide Akpata came in. I remember Barrister Sarenti Dennis telling me that Olumide Akpata is, according to Barrister Dennis Sarenti, that is actually a cousin to the outgoing governor. So, where does he put the twist? Is he going to be a determining factor in the election? National Assembly members, yes, in the reps, they have a senator. They have a few reps members in the state. So the question is this: where exactly would the pendulum swing tomorrow? Joseph is the son of the soil, and he would help us understand some of these things. Though we could make our projections in this place, but it has no influence whatsoever on the outcome of the election tomorrow. Whatever we project is based on the numbers that we have in front of us as we speak, are based on previous observations and reports that we've had over the last period of over the past few months in respect to how the preparations had been going in the state. It is going to be very interesting. And once we're done with Edo tomorrow, or maybe I'm excited to announce the result on Sunday, whenever they do that, the next point of call is going to be on those states, and that one is going to be a very interesting conversation. The entire political structure of the former governor of the state, Dr. Olusegun Mimiko, decamped officially to the APC on I think on Wednesday or thereabouts. So the question is this: where would this pendulum also swing in Edo State? We keep our fingers crossed. I'll wait for Joseph to join us on the show. A couple of messages are dropping in already, and the Edo governorship election has been won and lost. The APC, for all its comprises, has lost. The Labour Party has not gotten the strength to win. The PDP has won. Any other aftermath would warrant falsehood. Let me even ask, who is in his right senses would vote for the APC in this election? That's from Tochukwu Adeli Thompson from Obanikoro. Thank you very much. This one says, whatever happens in Edo tomorrow stays in Edo. The most important thing is that the APC have sold themselves to the people, and even though they said all politics are local, are things better at the local level? I'll let the people decide. Tomorrow is going to be a key day for the people of Edo State. Edo decides 2024. That is from Festus Ikorodu. Thank you very much. Let me take this one before I bring in Joseph into the conversation. This one says, Okay, and this one says, we knew it was going to get to this point. We've seen videos of monies being shared amongst the candidates. I hope the EFCC will leave your billing for now and focus on the Edo election. People need to be asked questions. Okay, thank you very much. And that is from Abdul from Ikorodu. Okay, let me take a few more messages, then I'll bring in Joseph Folorunsho into this. This one says, this is Olamilekon from Lagos. The IGP is reportedly sending over 35,000 policemen to one state, where in other states you hardly see the police around, especially the north, where Boko Haram and bandits are ravaging. Is Edo State at war? In other countries, elections are like carnival, no restrictions. It is even done during the weekdays, but the reverse is the case here. At the end of it all, cash and carry would rule the day. Indeed, there was a country. Joseph Folorunsho, tomorrow is the big day in your state. And you've been a part of the entire conversation, right from the primaries of all of the political parties that we covered here, the primaries that brought in the Olumide's Apatas of this world, Answer Gudalo, Senator Monday. In fact, the primaries of Senator Monday was very interesting. Another candidate was declared winner of the primaries, and then they had to redo another primaries. Then the candidate that was declared then is now his running mates. That's the House of Reps member. Then that of the Answer Godalo also, a couple of the aspirants went to challenge the legitimacy of the election. In fact, the court gave a ruling that the process that brought him in terms of the delegate list was not done properly, although it did not invalidate his own candidacy. And I think just about a week ago was when the court validated the candidacy of Olumide part of the Labour Party also. So all of the primaries had his own intricacies. All of the aspirants that didn't like the way the primaries were conducted went to challenge the outcome of those primaries. But now the status quo stays, and tomorrow is the D-Day. Edo State is on everybody's lips right now, and that's what you get when you have isolated elections like this. It is off-cycle elections. The entire country is focused on what happened in Edo State. There's been talks of security concerns. The Inspector General of Police is speaking, the governor is also responding. The APC is stalking, the Labour Party is stalking. Peter Obi has been in Edo State for 2 straight days to galvanize support for the Labour Party candidate. There's just been a whole lot, and in the midst of all of this, Joseph Folorunsho, there is the Comrade Philip Shaibu conversation. Impeached, reinstated, his reinstatement validated. He's still parading himself as the deputy governor. He's hobnobbing with the APC, whereas he's on the platform of the PDP. Edo State had been all up on drama in the past 6-7 months. How prepared are we for the election tomorrow, Joseph Folorunsho? Good to have you on the show today.
Well, thank you very much. But let me take you back a bit. The conversation that people are not even talking of is the one that actually started, I think, in February 2022. And that 2022 conversation started in Lagos down to Benin was first press conference that all the parties that will indicate interest to fill a candidate for the 2024 governorship election in Edo State must, though it's not in our constitution, should kindly the party should kindly pick their candidate from Edo Central. You get the point. So it was serious. In fact, many media houses were in some of those press conference, and the organizer of some of those press conference was across board, Edo North, Edo South, and even Edo Central. But moving toward the primary, you see that one of the party, when they first have their primary, okay, let them do another primary that bring one of the candidates as one of their members, the flag bearer for Edo State governorship election. Okay, the challenge I just have is for this election, if you leave it for the people of Edo State, I don't think they will plug one leaf. One leaf will not fall for that because of that election. So the people of Edo State, it could be a peaceful conduct. See, election is also like a carnival for us in Edo State. You understand it? But if you look at toward the election, which I've said in many places that if there's any crisis in a those state election, we should hold the IGP responsible for that. You know, the reason is this: you go to a state and you met those state vigilante or those state local security. What you would have done, that security was a creation of Edo State House of Assembly. So what you would have done, as the head of #1 citizen of police in Nigeria, is for you to find an audience with the Speaker of Edo State House of Assembly, sit with him, because it's a democratic system. We are not a military system that you can order anybody as you like. You sit with him, Mr. Speaker, and some member of the House of Assembly Edo State. This your agency, local agency, though we have been getting support, because that same there was a day that was in Edo State. Do you know that we would have an issue if not because of the Edo State local security that actually assisted us? You understand? These young guys have been assisting a lot of supporting police in Edo State in terms of security challenges. If you don't want, which I don't think they are going to be part of the election, it's just for you to meet the Edo State House of Assembly or the Speaker. He will pass information to the executive, which is the governor, and ask them, please, can you ask these people to tune down their activities for the sake of the election? But when you go to a state, a sophisticated state like Edo State, and say the activities of Edo State local security disbanded or suspended, the question will be, you are actually challenging everybody there, because those guys in the House of Assembly, whatever they are doing it on behalf of the state.
But
it's just
the Constitution does not recognize the vigilante in the scheme of electoral things.
It's not. They are not going to. Neither did the people say they want to be part of the election. But the reason why they were there was the state have security challenges, occasion but lapses, inadequacies from the regular security.
But it is normal for them to be asked to step down.
No.
For the election, they can't be involved in the election.
When you tell someone, when you say any agency that is a creation of a law, whether local government bylaw in the state,
it's a bylaw.
But that doesn't make it not to be a law. Okay, it doesn't make it not to be a law. That is a law that was governing the people in their illegal organization.
No. Maybe it is because
the way
the suspension rather.
That's straight for you to go to a state, not Abuja. They don't operate in Abuja. When you reach there, you speak with the governor, speak with the speaker of and ask them, please, this is an election period. This your agency that be assisting even some police. What can we do? You get information from there. Okay, the governor can call the person that is managing that agency for the state and say, do you know what? This is for the sake of the election.
Just step your boys down.
Step your boys down.
Let's get done with the election.
All this kind of but because that pronouncement actually make every person in and outside to up to his brain and say these people are up to something. And that's why, let me tell you, the people are very, very ready. If the police want the election to be peaceful, that election will be one of the most peaceful election we have
in this country.
In this country, because the people already make up their mind. They know the direction they are going. But allow them to exercise.
Joseph, let me hold your thoughts before we leave this whole issue of the vigilante, because it is something that have been, in fact, it's almost like the whole security concern of this election have been centered around security, the fears, and even the governor that is supposed to be the chief security officer of the state is also coming out to express his own reservation about the scheme of things. But I understand your position about the fact that it is the House of Assembly that established and domesticated the creation of the Edo State Security Vigilante Network. But the Electoral Act and the electoral laws of Nigeria does not recognize the involvement of this vigilante in an election. It is the duty of the police to provide security. In fact, even the operation of the police was well spelled out. They must be within a distance to the polling booth, to the polling unit. Everything was very clear. Don't you think cases of abuse of power by those vigilantes, one of them you can remember is the attack that was carried on the deputy governor of the state, Philip Shuaibu. Don't you think it is what necessitated the Inspector General of Police to give that instruction that we'll suspend the operations of the vigilante for now, and maybe after the election we'll bring them back. Don't you think it is instances of these cases that necessitated that decision?
I'm not saying, see the issue. The IGP did not have power, you understand, to suspend. He can still tune down the activity, but you can't go to a state. Nigeria is except when we decide that we want to go to military system. Why is it that we say that a local government can have their bylaws? Why is it that we say a state can make a law for the state? Then we now have a House of Rep and Senate that are making a law for the entire country. When you go to a state, it's an appeal to agencies. When you go to a state, find out, okay, this state,
what are the domesticated operations?
What are the bylaw? If you are serious and you know what you are doing, because without the law, even the police cannot govern the state, cannot govern Nigeria.
True.
They are law enforcement agency, and
so they are meant to enforce laws.
There is no law, whether it is a bylaw, whether it is a state law, and the rest of them. If you are a law enforcement agency, you don't have the power to say, "Oh, I am suspending any law." Why are you going to get? If you are suspending, it means that you are telling us that those House of Representatives, they are useless human beings. No IGP can come to Lagos now and say, because I'm the IGP, I will suspend the activities of Lagos State Neighborhood
Watch. But if you did it in Edo State, what stopped them from doing it in Lagos? I understand your position,
I sent a message to my speaker, Blessing Abubakar. I said you should be able to take IGP to court. That what you have come to my state to do is an aberration and it's abuse. In fact, you are insulting the people of the state that you know before those guys came up. So I'm not saying the Edo State village should join the activities of the election. I said there are ways, okay, there are ways for you, there are way you pass information that will not make people to read some narrative that will not favor you. So we should be cerebral in thinking. When you are going to Edo State are cerebral in thinking, and you want to approach us, be very, very cerebral in approaching us. Not that you just come. If you are doing it in other states, that is their own, and they leave you. There's no problem. You know, there was a time that a police PRO then? He called one governor. He said he's a drum man. You understand? You know the one at Jim Omoshu then when there was serious security challenge in Benue State and Samoto was busy shouting. A PRO, first PRO was telling that the man is a drum man.
Why is that? He's acting drunk.
You understand? I was telling one of my friends from they would have taken the guy to court. They can't tell a number one citizen of the state that because of your inadequacy that the state is facing a lot of security challenges. You are now talking to the guy as if he don't know what he's doing, and he have the mandate to protect
the people of the state.
The same thing Obaseki have the mandate to protect the people. So if IGP is going to Edo State because of purpose of election, you discuss with people there, whether it's in party that you like or you don't like. He is the number one citizen of Edo State. Then you can have the number one lawmaker in Edo State. If there's anything, you know that this is a creation of a law in the state. You discuss with them. It's just a message and advice to some of this.
But now, let me.
Not only that, before you go, look at what are we ready to actually grow this democratic system? Because that election is not between none of the candidates is from Cameroon or from
Nigeria.
They are Nigeria. This is practically the activities that should be managed by the agency that have the common mandate to protect our internal security, which is the police.
Let me ask you.
Have you ever seen election in America and you see military talking?
Let me ask you, Joseph. I've always been a pro issue-based campaign process in every election, even at the student union level. I've always felt like pettiness should not be brought into the election at all. You should talk about what you want to do for the people. But how did you feel, looking at the fact that security had concerns and challenges had played a key role in this election? Spaces where people are supposed to be talking about what they want to do to the people. The governor is raising security concerns. The APC is also saying its own. Is this a reflection of the security situation in the state, or you think it is just election that has heightened things a little bit, Joseph?
These people again. Okay, have you ever seen any state? I think some of the states in Nigeria that have serious security challenges is Niger State, Zamfara State, and Benue State. Whenever they want to do election, You will see all the security agent, policing agencies. They will come together. Oh, this election is those states exist for election? There is gonna be police. They work as usual. But when you talk of election, you see all the adrenaline of all the security agencies is pumped up as if Nigeria exists for election only. So it is, to me, it's an aberration. There have been a lot of security challenges in those states. I don't see the IGP going there shouting that those neighborhood local security don't do anything. So Nigeria should know the issue of governance. See, when we are asking for education, we are asking for health, without security, none of all those other things we are asking for revolve around security. Look at the issue of this SACPA that we are having now, the hunger and the rest of them. When we are having security challenges in Benue State, which is the food bucket of the nation, every one of us fold our hand. They say maybe it is the problem of
Benue people. Now we are feeling the consequences.
We are feeling the consequence. By now, all the security agents are supposed to apologize to Nigeria. We know we failed. When people want to do bad government, they were issue threats. It is a riot. People are saying that there is a. Do you know that if to say farmer can go to the farm, even if you take petrol to maybe 2,000 naira per liter, they may not feel the pain. As there are a lot of people in my place that are, instead of going to farm, they are in the city because there are a lot of insecurity for people that are in the farm. So a lot of people have a cultivated land. They cannot go there to go and harvest because of insecurity. Security agencies are not coming out to be shouting and tell us that no, everywhere go to the farm. Let's see who is going to near your farm to say you will not harvest. You another CP and now say CP for election. I don't know the way we
on TV this morning, and I'm like, I've not heard CP election before. Where is that coming
from? That is there. Have you fired the CP that is there? Do say CP. So it's just, we need to sit down and say, oh, are we actually ready in this? Because for me, let us focus on issue of governance, not all this, because it's like, look at what is going on in America. With Donald Trump, do you see all this narrative being ready put into security? The security agency, they are doing their job without nobody say they are on one side or the other side. Look at the guy was making an assassination attempt of Donald Trump. The security agency respond less than 5 minutes. You get the point? They respond more than 5. If it is here, they will set up. They will be setting committee and say, okay, the IGP, the president have directed. If the president have to direct the
said no administration in the entire history of the state has built as much road as he's been able to do. He said he's done over 1,200 kilometers of road as a governor. I've seen all of those, but from your own assessment, as a son of the soil, how would you rate the entire campaign process? And then do you think the people of Edo State have been informed enough to build their decisions tomorrow?
Well, by special grace of God, the people of Edo State have already make up their mind the direction they want to go in that election. Okay, have you ever, if you look at that, we are very cerebral in terms of electing leaders. You understand? As I am today, I'm from Oᴏᴜ Edo State. Okay, I will never vow to say I want to be a king in my place. Do you know the reason? My parents have communicated into me that we are not part of those who will be king in my place. So there is a family. You understand that, oh, the king will only come from this ABC family, and we're okay with that. You understand? We only have that arrangement. So if there's any person that say you want to be a governor, if he has all the necessary criteria and we know that he can perform, Edo State will elect the person. The only challenge why you are seeing some of these high tech as if the whole don't want to bust. It's just because the security agency and INEC, they are the one messing up charging the environment in a wrong way.
INEC?
Yes, INEC is equal, because INEC said they are ready, but tomorrow you will not see that INEC that say they are ready, they never finish ready, because those state equally have some coastal area. You understand it? I was listening to the INEC rec in they say places of bike and all those kind of. Are you see? You
want to ride back on water?
They say that's the challenge there. Then why are you telling us some of your strategy? If you believe that some people want to circumvent the INEC process. Okay, why are you telling us? As I am today, Joseph Fọlọ́runṣọ́, I have my own way of protecting myself. I won't discuss it with you, okay? Because if I discuss with you, I'm gone.
You expose yourself.
I expose myself. INEC will be telling you blow of what you don't please. If you know you have your PVC, just make sure you're on the polling unit. We'll make sure that all the material are there. But we will leave office by 10 a.m. You're already exposing the whole process to some wicked people.
No, maybe for people like you that are demanding for transparency, Joseph. Maybe that's why they're doing all of that.
That's not transparency. That's not transparency. It's just like, there's something that a lot of agencies have copied the system of policing in Nigeria. That whereby if there's any robbery here and police come here, they will be blowing siren from Oshodi. It's not telling the robber that please make una run away before we reach there. The robber will move from there and go to Maryland. You understand? So we should be system driven in Nigeria. Both in election, any style of life, we should be system driven. It is because we are not system driven. That's why you now say it's as we have 36 states in Nigeria.
And the FCT.
As I'm talking to you now, almost all the agencies bringing out personnel for those state election, including road safety. And you are saying there's going to be no movement. So what's the road safety going to stop people that are carrying INS waste your driver license? So it's as if, and the reason. I was on another platform, I was telling someone that when they say whether from EFCC and police say we are warning that any person that involved in vote buying will face the consequence. Okay.
Even during the primaries, there were reports of vote buying.
What is vote buying? You cannot challenge. You cannot establish any. You cannot go to court when a person that is a vote buying. How? Which part of the law are you going to use to charge that person? Those people you see they were arrested, whether from police or yes, go and look at the charge sheet. It will not be vote buying. Because the judge will be asking you can't substantiate it in court. Because when you are saying you want to charge someone, which part of the law are you going to quote? Say this one according to section so he engaged in vote buying. Now let me tell you, okay, you are candidate A, and I have a preference, apology to vote for you and your party. And after my voting, you give me maybe 200 naira for transport. I've already made up my mind to vote for you. Is that vote buying? You understand? So the issue there we do, many Nigerians we are not willing to go. That's why the system is like this. If you go to court sometime, you see a lot of agencies be rubbish in court, especially the policing agency. The only thing they do is they don't obey law. They don't obey any judgment. Because they will take someone to court, the judge will tell her this thing you are charging this person, I don't see. You can't prove you don't have evidence to prove what you are proving. Only when they now make a judgment, they will just decide that they will not obey the judgment of the court, and you are messing up the system. And we can't continue this way, because every one of us now, including you and me, including the IGP, chief of defense and whatever, it has been long. INEC announced the timetable for Edo State election for over more than 1 year. You would have put all those strategies in place so that if the election comes, everybody will be due movement. IGP will announce that nobody should move, just because of state election that the people are not up to maybe 3 million voters. The Edo State population is not up to 6 million. They now bring all the old machinery. You leave Abuja and everybody. All eyes on Edo State now. What who do us? The next one is going to be your state. No, say after my state now.
And coincidentally, the state are even neighbors. Only God knows what they will shut down for in those states.
Maybe at that time, maybe our own is 35,000.
Maybe they will move.
Maybe they will move. They will double it now. Maybe 70,000.
That's the entire police. That's the entire police structure.
But the issue there is this: some of these things, some of those figures. Nigeria, when they mention figure, is it that doesn't respect figure? Some of them is just to put on the paper
to put it out
so that
there.
Whatever
how
you
do
want,
you record
so that whatever you want,
how do you want to mobilize 35,000 policemen?
One of the police that are already in Edo State, we already have men. Are you also
going to add them to the conversation?
Are you going to add them? So the issue there is this: for me, if you want to charge people for vote buying, you should ask the security agency, please, can we see the book on your expenses on this election in Edo State? Let's see how much you spent. And why do you spend that money?
Joseph, we are due for our first break by 5 o'clock, and it is the headline news, and we'll also quickly pay some bills. In case you're just tuning in, we're just rounding up our coverage for the build-up to the Edo Decide 2024. That will be tomorrow. The governorship election in Edo State, and there's Joseph Fᴜʟᴜ in the house with me. He's from Edo State, so you understand how some of those things work. When we get back, your messages are building up. We'll also still pick your call. Stick with us.
Don't touch the dial.
Headline news on 98.3 Mainland FM.
Good evening. Headline news on Mainland 98.3 FM. My name is Omobola Sandra. IGP orders restriction of movement ahead of Edo Guba poll. Fake product seizure loss to perpetrators in Nigeria. SON tells importers and manufacturers. Take me for my son's freedom. Binance executive's mother begs federal government. Tension rises as mpox outbreak surges. Remains uncontrolled in Africa. On the foreign scene, U.S. announces $3 billion boost for domestic battery manufacturing, countering China's dominance. And in sports, Adesanya stakes $10,000 on Joshua to beat Dubois. That's the headline news on Mainland FM. Details at 5:30.
You're listening to Mainland 98.3 FM.
Hey there! Yes, you just won 5,000 naira cash. And you, sitting by the side, there's 1 month Showmax subscription to Bar Discount Sound. All this could come true when you buy the No Unwrap chance to win any of these instant prizes. Promo valid from July till December. Terms and conditions apply. Get extra value on the No Unwrap and Win Pack. No, eat for good.
Guys, you need to check your NIN status. I cannot say this enough because the next batch of barring will start again soon. I know some of us have submitted our NIN multiple times, but your NIN has not been linked to your lines. Either because your picture on the MTN portal might be different from the one on your NIMC portal, or you got married and changed your name, or another person registered your line for you when you bought it, or you mistakenly used the wrong date of birth, and many other reasons. But don't worry, MTN has made it easier to link your NIN in just 2 minutes from the comfort of your home, office, or while you are on the move. No need to visit MTN office and join the queue. If you use a smartphone, you can visit nin.mtn.ng or dial *996*4# on your MTN line. Just follow the instruction and you are done in under 2 minutes. Remember, barring will start again very soon. Link your NIN to avoid stories that touch. MTN, what are we doing today?
Hello, Twe. Hey, you just win 5,000 naira cash, and you wey sit down for corner. 1 month Showmax subscription to watch Premier League. They wait for you, and you for back. No fear, you sef dey inside am. How 1,000 naira airtime and 2,000 naira Uber discount sound for your ear? All these things fit happen if you buy No Unwrap and Win Pack. Tear am open, find cube wey get 6-digit code for wrapper, send the code go 8011 and follow wetin dem tell you, and you fit win any of these ogbonge prizes. This promo go dey from July go reach December. Terms and conditions dey sha o. Get extra value on top No Unwrap and Win Pack. No, eat for good.
You dey find ways to save your data? You go first start with your apps. Delete apps wey you no dey use but other things go still dey. Some apps get data saver modes, make you activate them to control the data usage. You fit also go your setting, make you off the auto updates them. Then make you also close apps wey you no dey use to save your data when you no dey use your apps. This small change go fit help you save your data well. For more information, make you go your mobile operator website or consumer data.ncc.gov.ng for better tips. Make we dey connect and enjoy our data use well. This message dey come from the Association of Licensed Telecom Operators wey join body with the Nigerian Communication Commission.
Guys, you need to check your NIN status. I cannot say this enough because the next batch of barring will start again soon. I know some of us have submitted our NIN multiple times, but your NIN has not been linked to your lines. Either because your picture on the MTN portal might be different from the one on your NIMC portal, or you got married and changed your name, or another person registered your line for you when you bought it, or you mistakenly used the wrong date of birth, and many other reasons. But don't worry, MTN has made it easier to link your NIN in just 2 minutes from the comfort of your home, office, or while you are on the move. No need to visit MTN office and join the queue. If you use a smartphone, you can visit nin.mtn.ng or dial *996 *4# on your MTN line. Just follow the instruction and you are done in under 2 minutes. Remember, barring will start again very soon. Link your NIN to avoid stories that touch. MTN, what are we doing today?
Hey there! Yes, you just won 5,000 naira cash. And you, sitting by the side, there's 1 month Showmax subscription to watch the Premier League waiting for you. You behind. Of course, you're not left out. How does 1,000 naira airtime and 2,000 naira Uber discount sound? All this could come true when you buy the No Unwrap and Win pack. Open it, look for a cube with a 6-digit code on its wrapper. Text the code to 8011 and follow the prompts to stand a chance to win any of these instant prizes. Promo valid from July till December. Terms and conditions apply. Get extra value on the No Unwrap and Win pack. No, eat for good.
You're listening to Mainland 98.3 FM. Sound of Lagos.
Things seems anxious and uncertain. I understand the hardship you face. I wish there were other ways, but there's not. If there were,
in our quest to bring to the table issue-based conversation around nationhood and development, we have made 4 to 5:30 p.m. Monday to Friday the perfect time to welcome you into the Situation Room as we continue to build the narrative about public service and accountability.
Mr. President, this Senate needs to know. Mr. President, this Senate needs to lend its voice to the plight of these people. Mr. President, there is nowhere I can say it except here. This is why I'm elected. If I cannot say these things on this floor, sir, I better resign and leave.
As elections give the citizens the chance to make their political decisions, constant demand for quality leadership from those they voted into office.
Look at us, man, there is nothing. We are starving. Tinubu should please do something.
It's also important to having a Nigeria of everyone's dream. Join Oᴘᴇýᴇ as it takes to task seasoned analysts, opinion makers, business professionals, and politicians on issues around politics, policies, governance, and leadership every Monday to Friday from 4 to 5:30 p.m. on your super dial. Mainland 98.3 FM will welcome you your next as we discuss the situations.
Thank you very much. Welcome back. In case you're just joining us, this is Mainland 98.3 FM, and this program is called The Situation Room. And then, the situation we're focusing on the show today is the countdown to the Edo 2024 election that would happen tomorrow, at the 21st day of September 2024. The first of the 2 off-cycle elections we're having this year. The next is going to be on the 10th of November 2024 in Ondo State. But today we're focusing on Edo State, and Fᴏʟʟᴏᴡ is my guest in the studio. I'm seeing all of your calls and all of your messages. We've looked at the issue that had dominated this campaign, which is the security concerns that all of the candidates across board have raised. But hey, let me bring you back into this. Fᴏʟʟᴡ, I want to quickly paint a narrative. Edo State, just like all of the 36 states, have 3 senators.
Yes.
Out of those 3 senators, 2 of the senators are of the APC. Senator Comrade Sɪᴛᴜᴛᴇʀ the former governor of the state, which is representing Edo North Senatorial District. Then the candidate of, by the way, that's the senator, and then the candidate of the APC himself, Senator Monday Okwebolo, that is represented. The member, running mate to Senator Monday Okwebolo, Honorable Dennis Idahosa, is a serving House of Reps member.
Yes.
So, if you look at the House of Assembly in the states, it has Labour Party, it has the APC, it has the PDP. Labour Party has reps members, APC has reps members, the PDP has reps members. So
the same thing at the State House of Assembly.
At the State House of Assembly. So earlier today, there was a purported letter that was signed by the candidate of the Labour Party, even though they released a statement about an hour ago that is fake, that Olumide Akpata has stepped down for the candidate of the PDP. But the Olumide Akpata himself has responded that it's fake and it's just mischief makers that are trying to, mess the whole mood up. Like it always happens. We always get to hear things like this. But you've stood on the fact that Olumide Akpata may not be a factor tomorrow, and that was why I decided to paint that narrative. The senator from where he's coming from is from his party. Peter Obi had over time repeatedly endorsed Olumide Akpata as a candidate he believes and trusts his capacity. And remember that Peter Obi won the presidential election in the state, despite being a PDP state. A lot of people have said tomorrow's election is a two-horse race between the APC and the PDP. And I'm putting it to you today, as a son of the soil, from Edo North Senatorial District, Joseph Folorunsho. In fact, your name can even betray you. A lot of people will not even know that Folorunsho comes from Edo State.
The former governor of Bende State is Professor Ambrose Folorunsho Ali.
Yes.
So you have to
I understand. But tell me how you think, in your projection, the election of tomorrow would be. Because two senators on the side of one party, the third on the side. Because I'm wondering, if I'm a serving senator elected by my people less than a year ago, then I should be able to deliver the mandate back to the people. What are your projections ahead of the election tomorrow? Our phone lines are
my projection is the people of Edo State they are going to exercise their franchise. Rightly, the campaign have closed so that nobody will ring any narrative. What I believe is this. See, I can bet you with anything. If security agency allow without interference, which we know they are making all effort to interfere with the process, if INEC do their job, you understand it, the best candidate will emerge after the election of tomorrow.
Peacefully.
Peacefully. In fact, see what we do. When I have my voting right in Edo, whenever election is coming, what we do, we just select. Oh, this is okay. Some people should go to this party. So the day of that election, okay, when you are coming, you buy mineral. You buy people will just be engaged. But since some of this election in Edo State, because if you look at the election that brought Adam Soshomole, that I think is it 2 or 3 people that faced gun to gun with people that died. Those people that is, why do you want to change our will? Because in Edo State, the only person that will be talking, nobody can face him eyeball to eyeball, is the palace.
Only the Oba Obini.
That's the only Oba Obini.
Anybody else can question.
Any other person we can question him. And that is reason. The conversation I don't know, know what we want to do.
But the candidate of the outgoing governor had covered the nooks and cranny, all of the 18 local governments in the state alongside Answer Godalo. Isn't that also an example of godfatherism?
No. I don't want to. If I don't want to talk about the election, because me, I'm being very, very careful. No security agent sometimes it can be very funny. You understand? Instead of them to listen they only hear. Instead of them to listen.
You're safe.
For me, Obaseki have done one thing that for me I will continue to respect him any day, anytime. That he stand on that thing. I said, you know what? For our own side, let the party do whatever thing they can do to pick someone from Edo Central. You understand? The same thing. I equally love what the other party did to pick someone from Edo Central, apart from the other party that insists that they will remain the way they are. But tomorrow the Edo people will decide. They will respond to all the decision of all the political platform. Again, we don't have political party in Nigeria. We only have political platform. So the Edo people will respond to that. So let us wait. Here we have there's a party that didn't have a senator, but this what this we call a primordial sentiment. You understand? Whereby issue in the house, we can say another thing when it got to a particular thing, but it get a point when I say, okay, this one this is the direction I want to go, because I reach out to a lot of my people in Edo State, and you know what they have been saying. He said, brother, if security agency will not mess themselves up, that election will be peaceful. You understand? Because Edo State is not the situation whereby it's sometimes when in Edo State, when someone should go and say who is this, someone tell who is disturbing that very place.
Nobody even cares.
So you now know that it's not only you that will have you have monopoly for violence. Nobody is interested in violence in Edo State. This election, the people are very, very ready to have one of the most free, peaceful election. And what we will be praying, we will be begging is if the security agency will allow the people of Edo State to exercise their franchise in a peaceful way. But if you say you are a police officer, you now want to become an Edo, or you want to see the way they will maybe color their voting, they will respond the way that you may not like, and that won't be good, and it may not be good. I'm seeing a lot of. I equally believe by the special grace of God that the Palace is going to pray for the state before the tomorrow election, if he hasn't done it anyway.
And that's what a lot of people are actually waiting for. I'm seeing a lot of your messages now, and one of the things I'm enjoying from all of the things you're sending is everyone is appealing to Edo people for peace, and I love it. Christopher Effiong says, I plead with the Edo State people to vote wisely. If they miss it based on their personal interest by selling their vote and they voted for the wrong person, they will leave it wrongly for the next 4 years. My people in Edo State, please vote wisely. Election must not be a do or die affair, because if it is do or die, who would the winner come to govern? Edo people should maintain peace. God bless Edo State. God bless the voters. God bless the winners, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. That's Christopher Effiong on Facebook, sir. Okay. Ralph AGK says, okay, thank you for the kind words. Okay. Abdul Rafiu Alabalakwe says, tomorrow is the D-Day in Edo State. Well, I wish Edo people well as they go on to make the ballot and choose who will lead them in the next 4 years. But I want to ask Mr. Joseph Fᴜᴜᴜ, what is the meaning of what people are saying, Edo no be Lagos? I need to know. And lastly, I want to beg the political bigwigs in Edo to play the game by its rules. If truly they are contesting the position because of their people, they should do all they can to make sure that no life is lost tomorrow. Because if anyone dies, definitely the election is no more to better the people's lives, but for selfish interest. Okay, you also said that Mr. Fᴜᴜᴜ, do you know that the Oba of Benin and the current state governor is at loggerheads? Okay, you respond to that, Joseph. Sunday Samuel says Edo people should do away with all these regional arguments, and the reality on ground, they should search for competent and not which party they want. Okay, I didn't get that, but okay. John Bernard Oyi says, okay, you're asking what time are we going to open the studio tomorrow? You certainly continue with us the moment we start getting all of the information that we need. I just want to close it up here. Benjamin Isse says, for tomorrow's Edo election, I wish my state a peaceful polls tomorrow. My advice for INEC is for the chairman to the least staff who will participate in the election should maintain peace and play by the rules of the game without favoritism to any candidate. The wish of the people should prevail. Let what happened in 2023 presidential election result transition not happen. As for the security agent, they should not take sides. Edo people should not forget the slogan of Edo no be Lagos. That's Benjamin from Shogunle. This Edo no be Lagos thing is very interesting, by the way. This one says, irrespective of what happens tomorrow, the Edo people are made to choose between the devil and the deep blue sea. None of the candidates have been able to sell their manifestos to the people. I hope the people will think twice and know that whatever choice they make tomorrow will determine their future, their next 4 years future. Okay, thank you very much. Let me quickly get to the phone lines. Hello, good evening, welcome to Mainland FM. Hello.
Good evening.
You're welcome, Chief Gochuku.
Yes, so Joseph,
Good evening,
my
sir.
friend, though. Yeah,
Good evening, sir.
yeah, Joseph.
Sir.
I mean, when me ask you honest question as a neutral man, he didn't answer those questions. You keep telling us if the security agency do this, do that. If I do this, do that. I thought you would have answered the question. Okay, you do like as if you have interest in one party.
No, the issue there is it. I want the security agency to.
No. All the
they can say we are campaigning, and I don't want to avoid that.
No, all the same is fine. You are a human being now. You have a mutual interest too. But what I want to say, Obasaki is panicking because he did not do well in Edo, and the Obasaki know that he must have a population in Edo. And those population will not vote for him again because of LP. That is the panic. So if you are telling me that they will all the vigilante people or whatever, I'm not asking you. In Lagos, you are in Lagos. Do you see a Moteko and the last man conducting an election in Lagos or preparing themselves in Lagos? What would you have said if you see something like that?
Please wrap up your thoughts.
What do you have said if you see Amotoko and the last man
getting involved in the election?
In Lagos.
Thank you very much. Joseph Fᴏʟᴏᴡ is going to respond. I want to try and pick as much calls as I can. Greetings to the gentleman in the studio, and I want to let you know that Edo State is not Lagos. I was in a dream last night, and the candidate of the Labour Party, Olumide Akpata, won the election. If he wins, will he be declared as INEC as Edo State governor? What power do INEC have not to declare whoever wins an election? Edo State election will shock Nigerians, and I know that APC for sure will not win Edo State because of their present rulership in the country. All I know is that Edo is never going to be Lagos State. Thank you, and Nigeria must be great again with other parties. My name is Dan P, all the way from Igondo. Okay, this one says, I like your guest. He's very knowledgeable about the Edo situation. I know that tomorrow, whatever happens, the people of Edo State may have made their decisions based on what interesting messages we're getting here. Good evening, welcome to the show.
Good evening, Opayemi.
Good to have you join us.
Question. I agree to your guest.
Good evening, ma.
Yes. Ọkùnrin ló ń sọ̀rọ̀ kó tó kiri.
What the hell the former now?
Okay, sorry.
Okay, no, my voice resembles a female voice. So
it's a fine voice.
Former. Try and call us back. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
You're welcome. Your name and where you calling from?
My name is Ekaite.
Okay, Madam Ekaite. Join us straight to the point.
It's
on top of my show.
That's my people. That's my people. I don't know the Lagos. So Edo can never be Lagos. Please, I want to beg Edo, my people. Please don't vote for backfire. Vote for candidates that know that take it for the country. And they will not be violent.
Thank you very much. That's what we're praying for. Thank you. We don't want violence in Edo State tomorrow. Tony Anaele from Ijagemo is texting us. We're really pressed for time, Joseph. And he says, if the unprecedented plethora of security men are there for the good of all Edolites and Nigerians, so be it. They should be held accountable for any unpleasant circumstances that may affect the election before or after the exercise. This is another opportunity for INEC to redeem his battered and checkered image under Mahmoud. Shun every temptation and deliver result under 24 hours to reduce fear, apprehension, and suspicion. It is possible with deployment of technology devoid of technical glitch. Good one. Hello, good evening.
Yeah. Hello, good evening.
You're welcome. You have 30 seconds to do this. You're welcome, maybe pepper them.
Yeah, my dream does not fail me. APC took it in Edo State.
Okay.
Hello.
I'm with you. I heard you. You were the one that texted earlier. Joseph, see, we have to just leave the calls. The calls are pouring. But your projection tomorrow, and these are to be based on the whole build up that you and I and other people have been doing for the past 3, 4, 5 months. What are your projections for tomorrow?
My projection is the best candidate. If they allow the Edo State people, they already make up their mind.
Absolutely.
You understand? The candidate
Campaigns
that
have
they are
stopped.
looking for, Edo State is so sophisticated that we need a sophisticated candidate. See, whether you like it or not, Obaseki is our governor, and Obaseki doesn't work. I do compare. If I'm seeing Obaseki, I'm seeing the like of Putin. Who a lot of people who we speak, you don't allow people to be coming to your territory and be doing things anyhow. You understand it? So Obaseki, there's nobody that is a perfect human being. Hey, this one that he wants equity and justice to reign in Edo State and say, do you know what? Let's see how we can allow our wonderful brother from Edo Central to come and occupy Osadebe house. Then the issue of Edo not be Lagos. Okay. Edo is spelled EDO. Lagos is spelled LAGO. Is it? Are they
I'm very well. Quickly, let's do this.
You have Ambassador Muswa here.
Hey, Ambassador.
You're welcome.
Just follow you, my brother. How you doing?
I'm fine.
I also be there. My brother, just follow you. There's one disagreement I have with you. When you mention the state assembly in Edo State and you mention Obaseki, look, these politicians have no problem. It is me and you, we have problem. You know, the other time when Obaseki emerged, look, the state assembly is not allowed some of them to just perform their duty. And the people like you and Edo people refuse to talk, to comment, to challenge him. And he has his way. Just I mean, people who follow the king and his deputy, look, that will tell you that politicians, they are on their own. The three candidates, whoever we match, it's not about themselves. It's not about we people, but we keep up, keep them part at the back, supporting them. And if they don't have their way, they will call you and I. So for me, let's see whoever is match, and the other people should ready to put them on their toes, to do, not to just, oh, it's my brother, it's my sister. So we should stop this in all over. People have them everywhere, they have them everywhere, but until we get it right, that's why the politician will not continue to have their way. But now they have their way.
Thank you very much. Joseph Fᴜʟᴜ, thank you so much for finding time to be with us on the show today. All things being equal, we should also, find a way to, keep the people abreast and informed also tomorrow.
And our very, very wonderful guy, Dizuola Tunji, have an assignment at the CP Edo election. Don't allow anybody to mess up your name. He has a very, very fantastic record. Profile, and I believe he's going to stand on that and say, let the will of the people of Edo State.
Yes, on behalf of every one of us on mainland 98.3 FM, this one says Edo people should stand on their ground and make the right choice as they did in 2020. That's Chinedu from Orisumbari. I'm sorry I can't pick your calls anymore. Once again, thank you so much, Joseph Fᴜʟᴜ, for being a part of the production today. We're saying best of luck to the people of Edo State tomorrow, and more importantly, stay safe. When you cast your votes, it is your right, it is your franchise that you've just exercised. Stay with this and defend it peacefully. My name is ᴑᴜᴜ Akinde. 7 o'clock is going to be voices from the top, but I will come back by 6 o'clock for Sports Cruise, the Friday edition. Stay safe. Mainland 98.3 FM is the station you just listened to, and the show was The Situation Room.
Mainland 98.3 FM. Don't touch the dial. 98.3 FM. Don't touch the dial.
This is the Global News on 98.3 Mainland FM.
Good evening. Welcome to the Global News at 5:30 on Mainland 98.3 FM. In highlights, IGP orders restriction of movement ahead of Edo Guber poll. Fake product seizure lost to perpetrators in Nigeria, SON tells importers and manufacturers. Tension rises as mpox outbreak surges, remains uncontrolled in Africa. In sports, Adesanya stakes $10,000 on Joshua to beat Dubois. Now, the news in detail. I'm Omobola Sandra. The Inspector General of Police, IGP Olukayode, has announced the enforcement of a movement restriction in Edo State ahead of the governorship election scheduled for Saturday, September 21st, 2024. This measure ensures a peaceful, transparent and credible election process. In a statement released by the Fox spokesperson, Muyiwa Adejobi, on Friday, September 20th, the IGP directed that all vehicular movement on roads and waterways, as well as other forms of transportation, be restricted from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. on the election day. The directive exempts essential services such as accredited media, electoral officials, ambulances, and emergency responders. Egwetokun also announced strict security measures, including a ban on security aids accompanying VIPs to polling booths and collation centers. He emphasized that unauthorized security personnel and the use of sirens by unapproved vehicles would not be tolerated. He reassured the public that the Nigeria Police Force remains committed to safeguarding the integrity